We saw them dribbling around in the garden here. Everybody know what it is because it says what it is. But do you have this in your gardens?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this is a plant that you can make a tincture of it. You can make gather a bunch and dry it for tea, and it will smell wonderful for about 3 months. And the scent of this plant is so volatile that it will escape from a closed essential oil bottle. It's very expensive because it is so volatile, right? This is a wonderful calming nervine. We have a number of nervines in this slideshow. And the sign over the door says you're also not getting out of here without a nervine. So you need to find those nervines, those ways to really cope with just how, you know, life winds you up. And how you can find, you know, people love this. It really kind of just brings them down out of their hyperjitteriness, calming, uplifting nervine. In strong therapeutic doses, this is a treatment for hyperthyroidism. So if you are hypo, meaning low thyroid, don't drink a bunch of it, you know, because it's going to drive your thyroid a little bit lower. But as a recreational beverage, it's wonderful lemony scent. And having a patch of it growing in your garden, it will take off. It may stay where you put it, or it may migrate over there, because that's where it liked it better. But it'll find that place in your garden, and you can go out and again crop it down like you can with mints. Go out and harvest a bunch. You know, use it. You can dry it. And then it will grow back again, and perennial. It will continue to be in your garden. Next slide. Okay, for me, this is what spring's about. Spring, full-bore spring, artichoke. The leaf of these plants is, that part. I'm from Chicago. Vegetables were rare. When I was growing up, my mother occasionally would splurge and buy artichokes for dinner, which I thought was the way to get butter into my system. And so it kind of was ironic. I went to herb school and I went, you're kidding me. This herb helps you digest fats. I'm going, oh God, what a coincidence. You know? The leaf of the plant, not the bud that we eat, but the leaf of the plant is one of your basic bitter plants. It's in the thistle family, thistle tribe, and all of those thistles are used that way. They all have, to varying degrees, bitterness in their leaves. So you would make a tea, bitter tea. Don't you want it? Sure. Right before dinner, don't you think? Actually, it's exactly when you need it, because bitter taste in your mouth stimulates through your nervous system all of the secretions that you need in order to digest food. So you get hydrochloric acid and pepsin in your stomach. You get pancreatic enzymes squirting down into your small intestine. You get bile being squirt out. This is a major, what we call cholagogue, which means it stimulates the gallbladder to contract. So basically bitter plants, of which this is one, cause all the squirters in your body to start squirting. And what you end up with is a better digestive process because the enzymes to break down what you just ate are there and ready. So this is kind of another thing, you know. I think of bitters as being useful for everybody in this society because of our addiction to sweet. However, there are some cautions. I wouldn't give bitter herbs to a newly pregnant woman because I don't want to stimulate the uterus, and I don't know if I would. And I wouldn't want to give herbs without real guidance to someone who is diabetic and on insulin, because I would want to be sure that they knew that they had to check their insulin levels, because bitters therapeutically would be the first thing I would give them in order to help them process sugar better. But they have to check their insulin levels. They can't go, with what they usually take for insulin. They have to actually do the blood test. And a person who has an active stomach ulcer will be unhappy if you give them bitters before they eat, because they will have more stomach acid and that will aggravate their ulcer. So we'll get to the bitters later with someone. But everybody else who isn't in that category, what was that? Got an ulcer, pregnant, or diabetic, you need some bitters. So this leaf is available in beauty in the springtime. And it's an excellent time to gather. You can dry it, it's table dried, or make your extracts from the fresh leaf.